Hi, everybody, and welcome. We're going to have a real fun time, and I must ask you a question today because my good friend Richard's here.
Hi, Jen.
Although I do love it when James is here, when Michael's is here. It's just like I can't play favorites, but I might have favorites. Oh my goodness. Okay, so for everybody that might be brand new to this show, it's mostly we wanted to kind of give everybody a peek behind the curtain uh, to what we face as retailers and what publishers face, like Richard's amazing imprint Scoot at Scout. Richard, do you still touch on all the other stuff that happens there too, or do they you get to be focused in?
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm still publisher of Scoot and co-publisher of the rest of the books. So
Mhm.
um, lots of hats. That and creating Stabby Bunny is coming back, and excited to get some of that going. And uh, you know, we had a great convention at Shreveport just this last weekend. So yeah, lots of hats, lots of activity, but that's good. It's exciting.
I feel like you guys were close enough. I could have just like driven over because Shreveport's not that bad. Is
That's
that
true.
it?
And GeekCon is a great convention too. Really well run. And
Houston,
pardon?
make sure that my Wi-Fi isn't the problem.
It's
I don't
probably
like
my Wi-Fi.
it's mine. All right, if it glitches for a second, it's because I'm switching. I don't know why my computer decides to choose the bad one.
Don't
There we
question
go.
our cyber overlords, Jen. I mean, I'm sure they had a reason.
Oh, well, I came in this morning. No lie, I our we term the eBay computer mostly because that's where we do our eBay stuff on. Um, it's had this like weird message that's been coming up every morning, and it comes up with like a black screen with like white text on it, and to me, and it's like we couldn't do the update to the catalog. Press execute if you want to try again. And to me, everything in my body says press execute, try again. Says that is a total, like I'm gonna enter into having some kind of weird virus or whatever.
Right.
So every time I send a message to our IT guy, he's like, no, it really is your Wi-Fi had a glitch last night. Like the power went out for a second and it came back up, and
Mhm.
that's just trying to reestablish. It's always going to give you that message. So just like, do you guys have any like technical craziness like that shows up?
Yeah, I mean, better safe than sorry though, because ransomware and everything else, all the malware that's out there, and don't take any
Mm-hmm.
chances. So I would rather, reach out to another source or make a call myself rather than just click that button. It's so tempting, but not worth
It's like that makes sense. I'll push you.
it.
I am not exactly a tech savvy person, which is funny because most of the stuff I'm doing right now involves tech,
hmm
which means I just have aligned myself with people that understand it because I'm just like I just want to be a head that talks and
Well,
have all the magic happen.
yeah. Well, as long as you got a strong team around you, you got to
Mm-hmm.
do the parts that are your strengths and that you enjoy.
Oh yeah. So do you use for any of your creative product process? Do you use um like technology that makes you a little bit anxious?
Um, well, more recently, just getting involved with uploading books and things. I mean, Avenue 4 has a fantastic system. I mean, they're super timely, they're incredibly organized, but if you get one thing wrong, back to a draft, reverts to draft, and you've got to go back through
Oh,
it. So,
no.
but it's good because I'm proud to say my revert to draft rate is pretty low now. So it didn't take long because who wants to go back in? Get that book done, move on to the next book because we've got fans and stores waiting for them, right?
It's true. Yeah, on our ends as retailers, it's gotten a little more complex recently ordering because we got so used to just the one ordering style, which was diamond,
hmm
and now PRH and um, Lunar and the other places we order from, all of them are a little bit different. So you'll get in a jam, like you're totally like, I'm making my order and I'm doing real great, and you'll like default to the wrong way to finish out an order, which I've done a couple
Mm,
times, and then
mhm.
realize I've done it incorrectly, and then I have to re-enter it all, which is
Well,
soul crushing.
if it's scalp books, so you can just order directly from us, and we're super forgiving as far as that goes. And hopefully your experience has been very responsive as well. Should there be something wrong with the order or some damages or whatever?
Well, your ordering system is super simple.
Hmm.
Like it's literally like put in the number of the things you want.
Right.
Like go
Yeah.
back to catalog. Put in the
We
number you want. Go back to catalog.
we're going to go back and fix that and make it super complicated so we can fit in with everybody else. But no, we're not. We're going to stay just the way we are.
Yeah, PRH is they have been selling to a different frame of mind person for a long time because the bookstore model is different.
Oh yeah.
So they've kind of had to adjust a little bit to the way we've just been used to doing it. It's neither right nor wrong, right? And
Mhm.
for theirs, when you're making an order, especially for FOC, there's a button you can click to just be like, allow multi-add, which means you don't have to click a button up to say you want to add them or have it switch. Like if you don't do that, then it takes you to the shopping cart every single time you add something and has to make you come back.
Hmm.
But this other thing, you can just like add the number and it's
Mhm.
perfect until you get to the very bottom of the page, which if you get to the bottom of the page and don't remember, you just have to say add all to cart and you
Mhm.
leave that page at all, it loses all that data.
Oh no.
So that's what I'm talking about when you have like panic attack. It's like, don't leave the page. Don't leave the page.
Don't do it. Don't click.
No.
Yeah. Keep your concentration. Don't do it with somebody who's going to interrupt you. No.
Mhm. And
You'll
then
do
I
the.
know retailers have also fallen into the trap that there's multiple like confirmations you have to make.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll be like, you finish, you're like, add to cart, verify cart, but that doesn't finish. You have to like, then you like verify the numbers of things that are in the cart. Yes. If you
Oh.
don't do that, you find yourself like, oh, I did an FOC, but it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. I'm taking notes because we can add all that to the scout stuff as well for sure. Okay. And then we'll contact you 2 days later. Are you sure those numbers were what you wanted? And if
Hmm.
you don't answer, we revert it back to draft. No,
There you go.
no, we're in this case, our simplicity and our straightforwardness is uh, partially due to the awesomeness of our headquarter crew because
Hmm.
they can just they respond so quickly and are so um, retailer and customer oriented that it makes that part of the job easy. If something goes wrong, that they're gonna step in there and make it right. So
Yeah. And I think you guys might be unique amongst the publishers in that you have like a regularly expected retailer initial orders and fulfillment from your facilities. There are some others that offer the ability to order from them, but it's not like a push that comes at the beginning of the month
hmm
that says, here's a link to all the things that you can order that makes it really simple.
hmm hmm
So like mad props to you guys for making it because you got to know as a retailer, it's like it feels like we must have, extra time to do stuff, but it's not true.
no,
I always
no.
tell people the easier you make it for me to order from you, the more likely I'm going to order. For example, whenever somebody that's a big company, like let's say toys, let's just throw toys out there,
hmm
then they send you a link to their catalog and they say just go into the catalog and choose what you want, and then fill out all this paperwork, and then we'll send you your first order.
hmm
I'm like, I'm just going to be upfront with you right now. I'm never going to fill out that paperwork, which means I'm never going to order from you. But if you accept the fact that I'm going to pay with a credit card every single order and that I'm already with a bunch of other companies and you're cool with that, and I'm just going to tell you right now what I want, then we're good. We're
Right.
golden.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the job of distributors and publishers whenever possible to make it as easy as possible. But I don't know. I'm sure there's reasoning behind it, but we're not privy to why it needs to be so complicated in certain places.
Oh, yeah. And I think, aren't you guys, isn't your release schedule for next week, isn't it a huge amount of releases?
Next week is pretty big. Yeah. Um, we have and then like just an example, like Pentagram of Horror has one coming out this week, and then next week is we're kind of catching up on things, and
Mhm.
so we got uh, those coming out, but a lot of great books. And I mean, like Code 45 is getting more. Well, this week we got Agent of World, which that artwork is still, I mean, I can just go back and look at that artwork and find new things all the time. So incredibly detailed. And of course, Deniz's story is fantastic too. We got the By the Horns. So, Marcus and Jason are continuing to, that's one of the few, as one of the few kind of like ongoings that we have right now. So we're real
And
happy to.
and crazily, it is the one book that I know people are not going to give up. Like I don't have anyone dropping that book. I only have
Mhm.
people adding it, which is mad props to those guys for being able to keep an audience.
Oh yeah, I I kind of feel that a lot of our books, you know, retailers only have so much shelf space,
Mhm.
and our outreach is only so efficient. But stores like you that really get behind us and support us, we've got a lot of really great titles and a lot of um, great products that we're putting out there. It's just I think getting eyes on sometimes. That's why Lunar was really transformative for us, especially when it was just DC and us. It
Yeah.
was all those eyeballs, and we increased our audience quite a bit. Um, we've got I don't think the meta linguistic division crime division hasn't been out yet, but I feel like it has. It's just been
It
so
is.
long since we saw those files and we've talked about it.
It
And
is at our store because, reasons. Sorry, it came to us in a box, so we put it out.
yeah.
And it got rave reviews from Liam who read it. I think we put it out last week.
Mhm. And we got, of course, consistently great titles from Black Caravan, and we've got
Mhm.
John Clark's Playthings is coming out. John Clark, of course, has already done a couple of things there, but then he's got um, uh, something juicy or just juicy, but that's coming out as well in the very near future. So we love it when a creator feels like they found a home and they're going to bring us more titles and keep you know give us first look and first refusal. There is great. Any of our teams that we can have like that. I don't know if you saw any of our posts with Scout Team 6 was on a mission to that Shreveport there, and we had a lot of fun with that.
That was
And
perfect because they really did look like you guys were making album covers.
yeah, yeah. And it was Matt snapped that picture and he's like, "Wow, this is just like it's an album cover." It wasn't like that one. That one wasn't even posed at all. That one where we're along the wall. We were just trying to figure out where we're going, and everybody looked that way. And Matt had his phone handy. Pardon me. Thank you. And snapped that picture, and James took it and ran with it, and the rest is history. And
Hmm.
now Polly's Crackers, and our various albums that'll be coming out soon. Of course, Matt and Matt and Steph in Sim, they Matt is a heavy metal musician, singer, and producer as well. And then I think Steph has been involved in some of those projects also. So um, they do CDs that go along with, and they also did like a vinyl press of one of the albums that they've made that go along with the comic. It's not like it's more of a where the lyrics and things enhance overall the feel of the story.
Hmm. So is Scout Team 6, is that a specific convention only team? How were they formed? How do you
Uh,
become a member?
well, Scout Team 6 is definitely a state of mind, and if you would like to become a member of Scout Team 6, then I am empowered to give you membership, Jen. So yes, okay. So our ranks have grown by one more very important member. We'll have to come up with your operative name next, but you can
Oh,
think on that. Um, but yeah, I mean, it can be. In this case, it was just like we're going out there. There were six of us, and it's like um, it just kind of came up naturally. Um, but definitely, I think Scout Team 6 will pull off many missions, and it doesn't have to just be a convention. It could be any kind of a store signing, or even a special project, or any of those things. And and you now being a Scout Team 6 member, perhaps Scout Team 6 will have to make an appearance in your area sometime.
I would be so happy for that. You have no idea. So, is it? Are you guys finding that there are enough conventions coming online that you guys are having to have more than one team go to do different conventions that are
Well,
happening the same weekend?
well, um, yes, we've got Andrea Lorenzo Molinari. You have to say it that way, as James has, I'm sure, told you, our editorial director. And I worked on Scout Trailblazers, and that empowers any of our creators to order any of our merchandise for 50% off, and we give them a table runner and a rack to where any of our creators, if they so wished, could have a little Scout store on the
Oh,
side there.
perfect.
And yeah, I mean, especially if you're a new creator and you've got the one issue of your book out or two, and you got a couple of covers, it's kind of hard to really fill that whole 6 or 8 foot area. And um, and not to mention, um, if you've got some other Scout books up, Recount or Phantom Star Killer or Maul or Shepherd up there. um, Chances are that if your book isn't in that same category, you might draw some new people to go look at that, and then you've got the conversation. You can have a conversation with it, and also say, "Oh, these are the Scout books, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera." And at the end of that, it's like, and I'm a creator with Scout, and I have my book over here. So hopefully, a case of the high tide raising all ships kind of a thing going on there.
I don't know if any other publishers I've heard of doing that kind of program, but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
So, like,
especially.
if you like this, you might like that.
Hmm. Right, and also just there are so many, as you know. I mean, sometimes there's five in a weekend coming up. There's some weekends that have like five conventions. There's so many of them that, especially on those small to medium sized local conventions to the creator, that that can be a help to Scout and to them.
Oh, absolutely. So, what new crazy things are you guys gonna do next? Because I know you guys have fully jumped into whatnot. Is there You guys are always embracing technology and whatever the next hot thing is?
Right,
Is
right.
there anything else cool that you've heard of?
Well, as far as like brand new stuff, I mean, you know, uh, James has been in his mad scientist laboratory, of course, tinkering away, and with the output, we get with Pressworks and comic tags, etc. I think he's taking a bit of a breather while we let some of those things stew, and where we can get them, where we get those promoted properly. There are probably some things coming along. Oh, I was going to mention this, and I'll mention it here only. There's no one on here to stop me. I'll only say the name of it. It's top secret. I can't say any more than that.
Okay.
But Scout One, ONE, and that's all I can say. Saying
Okay.
more, you'll start seeing some teasers soon. But Scout One.
All right. I'm
So
super intrigued. I did see
uh,
a lot of pictures this last weekend of people really happily carrying around their Scout coffee on comics bags.
oh yes, absolutely. And Comics on Coffee, just announced their alliance with DC Comics. So they've got a
Ooh.
Batman dark roast, as you might expect, um, for the Dark Knight. But we're psyched about that. First of all, they're such wonderful people, and their product is amazing, and the idea was just so sound, and what they do with the little QR code on the back, and you can read the comic, and so you really can enjoy your coffee from them, and be reading the comic book digitally. And it all comes as part of the price of getting that bag. um, but we're thinking too, when people go to their site to get the Batman coffee, and you're like, oh, what other flavors do they have? They might find that vanilla mocha Stabby Bunny coffee too, or I think we've got some. I think King Jira. I think it's pineapple. Is that
Pineapple
right?
makes all the sense because the pizza.
Yeah, yeah. So um, we love that, and Andrea has definitely been a champion of theirs, and we had a nice display of it, and got a lot of attention. I think that was the best show for him selling coffee that he's had, to date.
It's such a brilliant thing. We have a question from our audience.
All right.
Quentin Adams says, "Are we getting new Stabity back? When is Stabity?"
Yes. The answer is yes. Issue 12 will be out in October. We got the second trade coming out. And then just so, because things happen, just so we can be sure, um, we're going to get the next 6 issues done. That's going to be the next arc done before we start soliciting it. But I think you can count on us soliciting that towards at least towards the summer of this coming year. Um, so more Stabity is coming. It's going to be a little different. We've got Grace, and the artwork and everything in Stabity was always meant to kind of um, um, mirror some of the contrasts that you have. Stabity Bunny, so you had cartoony artwork, but serious subject matter. Not super darkly serious, but serious subject matter. And then a lot of the artwork too to be from the perspective, and even some of the writing from the perspective of a 7-year-old. So now in the next arc, Grace is 15. She becomes 16. It's real close to her birthday and that, and she's in high school. And I don't know if you guys have ever read any Shadow Play, but Bard and Joy are in the same high school. She's in their high school now. She's moved. So you can only imagine, some of the other people they'll be interacting with, and also start to see how the Stabby universe kind of fits together a little bit better.
Quentin's super excited. All right. It's so funny. So Jackson came on and said, I'm sure it's totally a typo. It says, "Sorry for asking, but are you two names?" Which I took to mean like, are we named people? Like, no, we're not famous in any way. But it says, oh, never mind. It says in the lower left, they were asking what our names were, which makes me believe maybe I would need to do some station identification. Yeah. Hi, I'm Miss Jen, owner of Space Cadets Collection, and this is Richard Rivera, publisher at Scout for their line Scoot and a great many other things, publishing their main line as well, and creator of Stabity Bunny. And we have this show every week called Must Ask You a Question, in which we talk about what's going on in comics, specifically from the point of view of retailing and from publishing. So welcome, Jackson.
And normally the Must Ask You would make a lot more sense, because James Hake would be here with his magnificently curled mustache, which now he's trained to straighten out and come back, by the way.
That would be true. I think we need to have someone make an animation of him that way.
Rumor has it that could be in the works for sure.
So cool. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? You can totally pop them on there. It was a perfect question, Quentin, because I know there are a lot of people that were very interested in that. If you were paying attention to Richard's pages, you know that there was a Kickstarter that allowed you early access to that final issue of the first arc in a graphic novel all put together. So you can hunt that down also.
Mm-hmm. And you might even be able to find some at Space Cadets. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. No, really appreciated, like back when, just coming from being completely self-published, and sent you some information and some stuff and some little Stabity swag, and you made that great display, and it really meant a lot. So thank you again for that. But
the fandom is real. Like our whole the entire staff is like there's not a staff member that doesn't go crazy if you mention Stabity Bunny. So Jackson asks, what is my title? I am owner operator. So I'm an owner, but also I do day-to-day work. So I'm here all the time.
She's in the trenches as well, as you would expect from a Scout Team 6 honoree.
Right. So do we get like specific T-shirts?
There could be a patch in the making.
Oh, then I'll have to make like a uniform patch.
And there, so since they're Scout Team 6, there could be other patches that would come along with that as well. And I'm sure you want to collect them all. So we will keep you up to date on that, Miss Jen.
My legal name does not match my account name. That's so funny. Yeah, I don't. So Miss Jen as a moniker, I started using probably 20 years ago in the industry, and it's just kind of stuck. So as far as I know, Uh,
I'm gonna. I'll be right back. My
go.
computer is telling me it is about to die. The battery is running low. I
Well,
had to
plug it in.
I had to unplug it because I moved my birds out of here so you guys could hear us. Hold on one second.
So funny. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, so yeah, it's also of Space Cadets Collection
All right.
near Houston, Texas. So if you are ever in the Houston, Texas area, you can come visit me. We are a far north suburb, however. So if you find yourself in Houston proper and think you're just going to bebop over and do a visit, it really is going to take a 45-minute drive north. So
But
just
well worth it.
mm-hmm.
But well worth it. I mean, it takes, no matter where you are, I think nowadays, unless it's right across the street, it takes you a half hour to get anywhere anyway. So why not that extra 15 minutes? It's well worth it.
Agreed.
But,
All right.
but,
It is time for the mustache question. Does our producer have a mustache question they want to throw up? So this is usually a question that has nothing to do with anything other than just like a fun question for us to answer.
all right.
So we've answered all kinds of questions about our favorite toys when we were growing up. And
Oh. Well, whoever put those, I still have favorite toys. I didn't quit playing with toys. Come on.
well, I can see you've got an amazing collection behind you. Is that something that you put together yourself, or was part of it something that got handed down to you and then inspired you to keep going?
Um, this isn't mine. That belongs to my husband. So
So, did that come to your husband as a collection, or is it all original to him?
it's been original to him. I've been there when we've been buying it. So absolutely, yeah. In fact, that only represents probably 20% of it, I'd guess. A
Does he
lot
have
of
like a
it's box
favorite
stuff.
like era, or it just needs
Muscle
to die
muscle
down?
muscle cars in general, I think. And maybe like the 1968 Shelby GT, maybe. I'd
Ooh.
say I'd say that would be up there as well. Um, the if the dog crate wasn't right here, we could get a closer look, maybe.
Oh wow! I've never seen one that slides like that.
Oh yeah, that way you don't have the seam in the middle.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
that's Eleanor, right? From Gone in 60 Seconds, but it's blue. Isn't that
Oh
that kind of car?
yeah, I think so.
Trivia. Okay, so let's see. He popped up a question. It's back to school season. What's your favorite school supply?
Hmm. Well, I'll field this one. I remember back when we were dodging pterodactyls and first starting to form society that my favorite thing were all the really cool notebook folders you could get, whether it be the binder or whatever, because when they first started, everything wasn't available. When you first started getting superhero ones, I was just, I can't believe it, I've got to have, and so geeked out and got a lot of the superhero binders and notebooks and things.
Take you back. Like I think you're from the same generation as me. Do you remember Trapper Keepers?
Oh yes, of course, yeah, for sure.
Then you can put your folders in there.
Yes, yes.
But my favorite school supply, probably hands down a little bit because of the smell of it, is the 96 box of Crayola.
Oh,
You pop that thing, it's fresh.
yeah, yeah.
Mmm. Smells
That
so good.
new crown box smell. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, pencils and pens. I mean, they make special ones, but the thing that could actually hold all your, because even as a child, I was trying to write comic book things, so you could hold your stories and things in there, and um, yeah, I'd say, and yes, the Trapper Keeper, and that was the era of the Trapper Keeper for sure. The four color pen. Oh, that's a great one. Yes, I remember that too.
That's yeah, or the ridiculously put together. I don't remember how many it was, like 12 or whatever. It was like impossible to get your finger to push down the one you really wanted.
Right.
Those were nuts.
hmm
All right. Well, crazily, we've run out of our half an hour. I can't believe it at all. Um,
Yeah.
welcome. I'm sorry, Jackson, we didn't get to your last question, but hold on to it and pop back in next week and we'll totally answer it for you. To that end, make sure you subscribe or ring that bell for notification. And just know we do this every single week at this exact same time.
And you
And
might have the mustache next time.
mhm.
So
And
well worth
almost
returning.
always we manage to get someone at Scout to tell us super secret, top secret stuff. So you'll be the first person to know something, even if it's not the full thing. Like we know
Scout
Scout
one.
One. Scout One's a thing. So you can start hashtagging that all over the internet and be like, smart. I know the things. Thank you so much, Richard. We are going to
Thank
have
you,
to work
Chad.
on getting the whole team down here so we can have, our big musical cover shot all together.
Yes, absolutely. Well, dress up for that, and like I said, they actually make Matt and Steph have made albums before, so who's to say?
We'll just do a concert and signing.
Hmm. Yep, sounds good to me. Let us know.
Perfect. All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. We'll see you next time for Mustache You a Question.
Bye bye.